Welcome parents and students, this is Mr. Mills. I just wanted to create a quick tutorial of Edsby to kind of give you an idea of the basic uses of it. So ultimately parents, if you're unsure how to use Edsby, your child should be able to show you, but I understand that's not always the case, so I'm glad you're joining me today. Now, I like to liken Edsby to one of the most popular social medias. I'm sure you're familiar with it, the one with the faces in the books. And I say this because the user has a homepage, a feed, messages, and even the capability to join groups if they want. Now, with that concept, let's go ahead and jump right into some stuff here on the screen. Now, we're looking at our homepage, and the homepage is a nexus for everything. All right, it's looking at messages. We can check our various classes, groups, schedule, and even some stuff we're not going to get to today. Now, on this right-hand side over here, we are going to be looking at our schedule for the overall day. We also have some upcoming assignments, and even you can see stuff going on next week. Now, in the center of the screen here is your recent activity, and the recent activity shows basically anything like upcoming assignments or events or changes, just overall changes that your teachers and administrators have done, starting with the most recent at the top and working our way down. Now you can even go down here to show older posts and kind of load more things that your teachers have uploaded. On the left-hand side here, we have our classes. And one really neat thing about this is you can actually drag and drop your classes around, so you can kind of set them up in order. And really however you want, it's up to you. At the bottom, we have our groups. Again, like I mentioned, students can join groups. And in the top left-hand corner, we also have a general usage bar. Now, at the very top here, we have Edsby and our little Edsby icon. In order to use that, basically it's kind of like a home button, which you also have another home button here in the right-hand corner. But anytime you're at any other page and you click that, it'll bring you back to here to our home page. Now, we also have View My Messages, Compose Message, Open My Calendar, and a couple other icons we're not going to look at today. But let's start with the first one here. So View My Messages. When you click into it, it's going to show you a list of all the messages you have sent. This is basically just going to stack up for each individual messages that either your teachers have sent you or you have sent your teachers. Now, in order to send a message, all you have to do is click Compose Message, which again, this button and this button are going to do the exact same thing. In this screen, it'll pull up this box right here, and you can enter in recipients. Now, when I type in the teacher's name, you're going to want to type in the teacher's last name. It will not recognize Mr. as a first, but you can also start typing the first name of the teacher as well. My name is Daniel, and so as Mr. Mills, it's going to come up as well. Now, the cool thing about this is you can actually send multiple recipients the same message and do a group message, or you can just choose and send one. So down here we also have 4 icons. We have our take photograph, we have browse computer, add an app, or add a video or a link. I actually use browse your computer a lot and tell my students that if they need to send me a file for class, they can. We have other mediums that we send files, but sometimes those don't work. Technology. So always have a backup, and this is one of our backups, is to actually send files through Edsby. It's a wonderful way to share files. Now, students, please check with your teachers before you start sending them files. Make sure it is okay that you do that. If you go back to the home, let's check out this button for Compose Message. If you're anywhere else but the message screen right here, if you click Compose Message, it'll bring you up a separate box. It is the exact same thing, except for when you hit send, it'll disappear. So same kind of concept. Type in teacher's last name, you can enter your message here, and then you have your same 4 icons. Now, let's look at our classes. As far as our going into a class goes, you'll notice that when I move my mouse, that it kind of hovers a blue box over it. You can pretty much click anywhere in that blue box except for the teacher's name. If you click on the teacher's name, it'll actually take you to a profile. you'll notice before I go into the class that some of them have little red boxes. Those are just the notifications that there's something new has been uploaded. Anything that is new is going to show up yellow, and I'll show you that right now. So anything that is yellow is going to show as new. Anything that is not is just going to be white. Now, I went into this class here, and right here we can see a very similar little message box. But just note that, please, when you are in a class, anything you post inside of a class that is not a message is going to be public. So anyone that is part of this class is going to be able to see anything that you post. All right? This is private. This is public. So keep that in mind. One thing I want to show you is the library. The library is really important as time goes on. Any files that a teacher will post, you can notice right here, it's the same file. Any file that a teacher posts will show up in the library. I'm going to go ahead and scroll over to another class here. Let's go to a history class. And we'll notice that there's multiple files, and some of them are even pinned by the teacher. Those files, the more the teacher uploads, they're going to get pushed down right here in the, I like to call it the feed. Right here, though, they're always going to be stuck. So these might disappear over time, but your library files are always going to be there. So I'm going to click on this file. If it is a Word document or some other type of document that has been put in here, depending on what you have installed on your computer, you might be able to open it up and look at it. Sometimes you won't. No matter what, if you need to download that file, you can look right up here and you can download the file onto your computer. I'm going to close out of this right there. Same thing with PDFs. PDFs will automatically show up no matter what you are really using as your browser, at least it should. And you can kind of download and view as needed. I want to keep that in mind, or you want to keep that in mind. You want to keep this in mind over here as time goes on. The big question is, Mr. Mills, how do I check my grades? Well, there's a few different ways you can do that. Right here it says My Work. If you click My Work, it'll take you to check your grades. However, if you're inside the class, you can also look in the right-hand corner up here where it says My Work, and you can check your grades here. No matter which way you click My Work, when you click My Work, it'll take you here. Now, it tells you right here a graph. I don't have any grades entered in for this course as of yet, or assignments. This is the beginning of the year when I'm making this video. And so, since there are no grades, it's not going to show a graph. Normally, there'd be a graph right here kind of showing all of our assignments, and it's not really the best way to check our actual grades. The best way to do that is under Assessments. Now, there's 4 different types of assessments or assignments, if you want to think of it that way. We have incomplete, upcoming, ungraded, or graded. Let's go over to the American History class. I know that the teacher here has 4 assignments in. And anything that is ungraded is basically the time has passed where the teacher has put in the, quote, due date. And from there, it basically jumps into the ungraded category, and it falls on the teacher to make sure that grade gets in. Upcoming, you can notice over here on the right-hand side it says due 3 days from now. It just kind of shows you what you have coming up. Any box to the right of the name of the assignment is going to have some sort of value. Now, these particular assignments are out of 25 points. Sometimes it might be a percentage. It kind of depends on the teacher and what they're entering it as. This right here, this E, is your child's conduct. Now, some teachers like to use the grade book and have a conduct assignment, if you will. That's just to show and keep track of the conduct for the teacher, at least. It's a better way. We can keep notes, things like that in here. This is the actual conduct grade. We have a blue E, a green G, I believe a yellow S, and then a red U. So excellent, good, satisfactory, unsatisfactory. And each one kind of correlates to a grade. Now I'm going to, by clicking this right here, just scroll back to this class here. And I can even return to class if I would like. Now, going back to the home page, I want to show you one final thing, and that is checking your overall classes. Checking your overall classes, and when I say that, I mean your grades. All you have to do is click the word classes right here, or this arrow. When we click classes, your overall grade will show up, and you'll notice that on the right-hand side, since it's the beginning of the year, there's not a lot of grades in, you'll notice, but on the right-hand side where it says View My Work in Full Journal, that is actually where that will pop up. You'll also, on the left-hand side, just have your classes in the same order that you put them as I had mentioned them before. Well, that's pretty much it. It's a general idea of Edsby. If you have any questions, feel free to message your teachers, your child's teachers, and I'm sure they can help you out. Thank you for watching.